KRIS GETHIN reporting here in front of this very important whiteboard to make me look important, and I'm going to go over 6 tips to adding muscle without adding fat. A lot of people think this is a myth, that you cannot do both, you know, like lose fat and add muscle. Well, I've proven with my clients and with myself that it can be done. Only earlier this year, I dieted down using the 4 weeks to shred, and then I had 9 weeks of shoots following that, video shoots, photo shoots and appearances and stuff like that, and I managed to put on, I think it was about 5 pounds over a 9-week period, but my body fat remained the same. So I'm going to give you just some short, brief, quick and very useful tips on how to add muscle without adding body fat, because this is a very common question and I feel that I need to address it. So these are my personal tips. Number 1, increase your calorie consumption, but it should be clean calories. So, you know, we're talking the usual bodybuilding foods of, say, you know, your brown rice, your complex carbs coming in the way of oatmeal, sweet potatoes, and you know, you can have normal potatoes as well. I prefer to go for sweet potatoes myself, and I like to have quinoa too. Anything that's kind of gluten-free, I'll generally steer towards a little bit more, so I don't have too much inflammation within the body, because we gain enough inflammation when we're working out and hitting the cardio. But by increasing your calories through those carbohydrate sources and then going to the protein sources, obviously, you know, you're going to have your white fish, a little bit of red meat. I prefer to go more for the white meats, a little bit of red meat. When I say a little bit, I mean either once a day, mainly in the evening, or, you know, just, you know, a few times a week. So turkey is another one that I prefer. I'll have the egg whites normally in the morning, and I'll have a protein isolate after my workout, just to making sure that you get a full spectrum of various amino acids through various protein sources every single day. And when we're looking at our fats, the healthy fats are going to be like avocado, coconut, you know, I like the MCTs from the coconut, some walnuts and almonds, and the occasional egg yolk in there as well. So, you know, those are good, clean, healthy sources of fats. You know, we're not going to go for burgers, fries, anything deep fried, or, you know, any sort of like chips or candy, obviously. So when I ask people to bulk, it's a healthy bulk, it's a clean bulk. But still, these are calories that you have to burn off. And if you sit on your ass all day, you know, even if you get your workouts in, they're going to go to your fat stores. But we want to utilize these calories and assimilate them and push them and force them into the muscle. So you have to create an anabolic state by getting catabolic first. So when you go catabolic, that's normally when you're in a gym, when you're breaking down the muscle tissue, when you're training your ass off and stimulating your metabolism through your meal frequency, and obviously doing your cardio. So this is what I recommend. You should be training your ass off anyway. You should be eating at least 6 meals. However, when people are trying to bulk up, they normally neglect their cardio. So as you increase your clean calories, increase your cardio as well, so you are assimilating those calories into the muscle. The more that your blood flow is shuttling around the body, you get rid of your lactic acid, and that will transport the nutrients into your muscles as well. So that's 2. Down to number 2 now. So to perform your cardio now after breakfast, a lot of people will recommend that you do it before breakfast on an empty stomach, but the thing is, if you fast for like 8 hours or however long that you sleep, you need to ensure that your body is anti-catabolic immediately. And a lot of people go and do their cardio first thing in the morning. Your metabolism is at its slowest at this precise moment. So you need to make sure that you spike your metabolism as fast as possible by waking up, getting your breakfast in you, getting your lean protein and your carbohydrates. So that could be your oatmeal, that could be your egg whites, and then perform your cardio about 60 minutes after, once you've kind of settled that from your stomach. So you kind of break that fast as soon as possible. Once you've eaten, your metabolism is now at a faster rate. So it makes sense that you perform your cardio when your metabolism is kind of firing. You know, you get me? And I always recommend that you only go 2 to 3 hours between meals. Obviously, we can't do that during sleeping periods, so it's essential that as soon as you wake up, that you spike your metabolism and get rid of that catabolic state within your body by eating immediately. So make sure that you eat first, then perform your cardio. But it's essential that you do your cardio every single day anyway if you want to shuttle this increase of calories into your muscle. Taking a protein isolate post-workout is absolutely essential. You need this to kind of get that insulin spike, but if you were to take carbohydrates after this time, then there's a chance that that could get stored as fat because you will get an insulin spike from your protein. Taking any carbohydrates at this time will kind of sedate your natural growth hormone levels. Now, it all depends what kind of training that you're doing, but we're talking bodybuilding here. If you're doing like triathlon training, getting ready for an Ironman, or doing an endurance sport, you know, for a prolonged period of past an hour and a half, then yes, you will need carbohydrates. But we're talking weight training here, or bodybuilding, and in about an hour period, you have got time under tension and forcing the load placed upon your muscles for about 10-15 minutes. You do not need carbohydrates at this point, and if you do take carbohydrates in, there's a chance that will be stored as fat. So if you take a protein isolate, it has to be an isolate or hydrolyzed whey protein that spikes your insulin levels just as efficiently without taking the excess calories from carbohydrates. Do not mix your carbohydrates and fats together. Your body will utilize a preferred energy source, normally from carbohydrates. But if you are giving it another energy source in a form of fats, it can't use both, so one of them will have to get stored, and it will go for the preferred source of carbohydrates first. So there's a chance that those fats may get stored, and you don't want this if you're trying to add size plus lower your body fat, or at least do not want to add body fat. So if you're going to take fats, I recommend that you have those in the meals that do not contain carbohydrates. Perfect timing being late at night. So if you go to bed at, say, 9-10 o'clock, then you would generally cut out your carbohydrates after, say, 5 or 6 o'clock. These are the times following that you would add the fats into your diet. So you could add some nuts, you could add maybe a fried egg, or you could have your red meats, your naturally occurring, during those meals following, but you would not add carbohydrates during that time. Adding them both is a surefire way of the body utilizing one and not the other as an energy source, and the other one being stored as a fat source. Exactly what we don't want. Increasing fiber. Obviously, when we're on a bodybuilding diet, sometimes we neglect fiber. We'll have our complex carbohydrates, not so much our vegetables and the whole grains or anything like that. So sometimes I supplement with a fiber supplement, but ensuring that you're getting your good source throughout your oatmeal and throughout your rice, and making sure that you have lots of fibrous vegetables. I do like the asparagus, the spinach, the broccoli, the leafy greens. Ensures that you're able to digest and break down these foods as well, and a digestive enzyme can help that assimilation. And ensure that you don't take too much fiber, because that can take away the good bacteria within your stomach as well. So it's a healthy fine line, but making sure that you're regular to keep the metabolism firing, so you're not so bloated all the time and you cannot get your regular meals in, is essential to burn in the body fat whilst you're adding the muscle as well. So you're taking, at the end of the day, we're taking a lot of protein here, which is hard for the body to digest, especially if it's a heavy protein. So fiber is essential to have a healthy stomach and a tight stomach. Lastly here, use L-carnitine. So I like to use L-carnitine even when I'm not dieting, specifically because I know it helps utilize fat as an energy source. It shuttles the fat into the mitochondria, which is the perfect energy area which utilizes that as a calorie source. So putting fat as its primary source into the mitochondria so we can utilize that is a perfect way of maintaining your muscle and increasing it without adding body fat at the same time, so you're actually able to maintain those levels or at least lower it. And that's what we're all about, is increasing the muscle and not adding or at least lowering the body fat. So you'll see that over that period that I added that 5 pounds of muscle, I didn't put on any fat during that time. And if you noticed the muscle building trainer that's on bodybuilding.com, you'll see it was filmed every single day where I put on quite, I think it's 20 pounds, yes, it was 20 pounds over that 12-week period, and I actually lost fat. And this is how I did it, exactly how I did it. Now the cardio, just quickly, I'll give you a tip on that. What I was actually doing was HIIT cardio. If I'm just focusing on only losing body fat and maintaining muscle, then I'll do steady state. but because there's a lot of inflammation that's happening within the body. But you'll notice on a muscle building trainer, what I was doing is a form of a HIIT training. So every 4 minutes, whilst I was on like a treadmill or Stairmaster or an elliptical, I would go all out for 1 minute. And I would do that for about 3 or 4 cycles. So that's exactly what I recommend as you're trying to build muscle and burn fat at the time. Do the HIIT training. That could be first thing in the morning after your breakfast or after your workout, after you've had your protein isolate, and hit that high period for 1 minute for about 3 cycles, so you're totaling 15 minutes. So those are my 6 tips to adding muscle without adding fat. If you like this video and you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my YouTube and like and comment, and I'll bring more to the table.